I am one of the smartest people on this planet, is what I would say if my win rate was not currently sitting at like 50%. Basically, what this video is about, if you couldn't tell from the title, is I don't know how to say his name. I still don't know how to say his name. I think I'm going to call him Baphog I want to say Baphogouge or Baphogouge or I think I'm gonna say Baphogouge because I think it's cool. But I got this guy, I hatched him. I didn't record the hatching because if you remember from my Ellen Fox video, I'm now superstitious about recording hatching videos. But I saw this guy, he looked kind of cool, but I was like, how am I gonna make him work, right? And so I said, what do I need to do? I need to find a way to use instant payback killer. So the reason I say I'm the smartest person in the planet is because I used Arachna to use Rockoid Morph on Horrorclaw to give the enemy an Arachna so that I can then use Instant Payback Killer and instantly have Link Bloodbite charged. That is such a big brain power move. The issue is, in order to kind of have that set up for me, I could have thought of different ways, but the first thing that came to my mind was using one-on-one, right? Using Flugs to get that sleep control so that I could use the Rockoid Morph and get the Arachna in the enemy team. The issue with that, of course, is everybody runs stuff that, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have been, at least people that I've run into, have been running stuff that can easily counter one-on-one. I had a guy using, I ran against a guy who was using Angel Lion in the front line, which I've never seen before, but of course, that happened when I was trying to do this one-on-one sleep strategy. So it's been kind of sad. That's why my win rate has been not high this season so far, is because this isn't a very good team. I've just been trying to use Link Earth and trying to use Baphogouge because, you know, he's cool. And I thought this setup was really, really awesome. Also, it gave me a chance to use Manta Sword, who just died immediately there. But yeah, I had not done PvP this season until I unlocked Baphogouge, actually. And I've tried, and I just can't make him work, at least in this way. There is a possibility that, like, if you maybe run him in the mid game, or at least run him frontline or early game, but just have a way to give turn to him, because outside of instant payback killer, the only way to get kills with him realistically is using Demoralize, which is just 160 seconds, and then that's just so hard to use effectively. You need some form of give turn, and I mean, there's not a lot of that in Earth. There's like that one rabbit that I'm forgetting who has Link dual give turn. There's not a lot. So, and there's also just not a lot in Earth to begin with that is good in PvP. So he's just been really difficult to make work. He might be better in PvE actually, because that's where a lot more people will be running like Death Revenge stuff, and where the fast like sweeping is easier to set up and easier to abuse, especially since it's blood bite. So he'll be, you know, healing up. Here I ran into a Hu Xin, the newest mythic, who came in the same egg as Baphogouge. But of course, I also ran into a Guillaumerai who has Insomnia. So my one-on-one completely, you know, gone. My Flug sleep completely irrelevant because he's faster than the Flugs. But here it actually didn't matter because I saw that he had a Timberlord next in line. So I was like, okay, there's no point in getting rid of my own Horrorclaw if I can just get an instant payback killer on one of his monsters, you know? So I'm figuring out a way to kind of like pass this time, get this sort of set up, Dream Hunt the Hu Xin, and I think I Scapegoat the Horrorclaw, yeah. Scapegoat, this team might not be amazing, but it was fun. This was my first time using Arachna, actually, because I got her a while back. Other than the Battle Buff icon video, this is the first time I've like used her, and she's kind of fun. Like Vengeance, Rockoid Morph, those are good skills. They come up. Of course, I think she'd be better, obviously, if I had her fully awakened, as most mythics are. But she was still just fun to mess around with. There, I'm able to get the instant payback killer into Link Bloodbite, which is, like, that's good. That's a good setup he has. It's just how often are you going to run into people with payback killer, you know? It's very... it's very inconsistent, Baphogouge is, so just like the way I'm saying his name. So that's why I was using this Arachna Mirror Revenge thing, which I do, again, just want to emphasize is like so big brain. Like, you can't guarantee that people are going to have death revenge, so what do? You give them a death revenge? It's so genius, but it just doesn't work very effectively, which makes me sad. It makes me sad. But he was still, and thus I don't think I'm going to be using him for the rest of the season or probably ever in the future. I'm sure he'll come up eventually. Most monsters do, but I just don't think he's going to be a frequent in my teams. Let's just say that. But he was still fun to use. It was actually funny that I happened to run into this guy who was also running Baphogouge. But now, I'm getting into this end game here. He's got a lemon next in line, and most of his people are poisoned, so I'm kind of like not sure what I'm going to be able to do here. I go for the Wraith Host, and of course it's an awakened lemon, so it puts everybody to sleep. If it was, the second form, there was a chance that Baphogouge or Spectre Fox stayed awake. But alas, of course he has a fully awakened lemon. Now I'm just kind of like figuring out what I can do here, because Baphogouge is poison immune, which means the only way I'm going to be able to wake him up from sleeping is Purify. And Spectre Fox is also asleep. And there he goes for the Blessing Mortar, takes off the poison. His Dame Devil, what's it called? Death Sentence, Entrance, whatever. I forgot. Death Comes. That is, charging up, about getting ready to go off. My Manta Sword is going to get killed off by his double Lightbane here, which is unfortunate. Yet another battle where I barely get to use Manta Sword. I was also thinking, like, since I was running Manta Sword, I didn't need to, but I was thinking about running like a mid-game one-on-one, which I know sounds really weird, but I feel like if I had, like if I used Romanoid or something, like Ascension All, and then I had, what's his name? Oh gosh, I forgot his name, but the guy with Toxic Presence and Shift Curse, if I used Bundle Blazer, if I used him in addition to Manta Sword, then like he enters and then I could have a mid-game one-on-one. I don't know. I think that would be more effective if I had Manta Sword's secret skill unlocked, which I just don't, and I also didn't have the cost for it in this team. But this actually did come down to the wire here. Baphogouge is awake, but I no longer have Link, which is unfortunate, and he's obviously aware of that, so he's been careful not to, make sure that I have that set up for me. But he still does have Demoralize, which is able to take out Demon Nymph. I forget her name in that form, but you know the one I'm talking about. Now, the Rockoid, I'm not super scared about because obviously he has 0 reinforcements. It's actually interesting that he's running the Rockoid in the end game. Don't really understand what that's for. Maybe he's just assuming, based off the rest of his team, he'll have built up enough Rockoids at the end that he can throw Mageddon, and I don't know. That's what I would assume, but it really doesn't matter. I use Flare Burn to take out the Bronze Shell and Tricranium. And at this point, there isn't much he can do to kill. I mean, Rockoid doesn't have any reinforcements, so he's pretty much useless. And Spectre Fox, what's he going to do? So that is going to wrap it up for the Baphogouge gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, probably not going to be using him in the future, but I am really proud of this setup, giving them the Death Revenge. I've talked about it already. It's cool. It's awesome. It's good to have a break. I haven't been posting a lot, but I'm finally have some time where I can. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look forward to hopefully some new videos soon, but I don't want to guarantee it. Doing my best out here. That's all I have to say. Baphogouge. See everybody in the next video.